Let my minions grow! I said, let my minions grow! If I don't figure this out, they're not going to let me into the Archmage tournament. All right. Let my minions grow! Hello, Weirdlings! I have got another game review sent to us by Solar Flare Games. Thanks, Dave and Angie! Please keep in mind that as a review copy for the Kickstarter game, a lot of the bits are being displayed are not in their final form. Take this review as more of a gameplay guide and not a showcase of materials. Welcome to Dawn of the Archmage. In this game, you will be playing a mage fighting for the title of Archmage. Well, you're not so much as fighting as you're sending your mystical minions buddies to fight for you, but that's just semantics. To set up this game, you will first lay out a number of board tiles that corresponds with the layout you want to use. It can be a square, a rectangle, anything you want to build with the given tiles. Just keep in mind that smaller spaces will promote more combat. We've got two decisions to make before we can call the board set up. First, determine the orientation of the retreat key. This will stay that way for the entire game and will be important later. Second, decide if you're going to use modifier tiles. These tiles spice up the fighting arena. If you do use them, it's recommended to not use more than one per map tile. But it's your game, experiment if you want to. Once the map is set up, each player will pick a faction and be given their incoming list montage, mage deck, fatigue tokens, summoning portals, soul stones, summoning power crystals, 10 of each health tracking tokens, 5 miniatures along with the colored bases, and 3 combat dice. Whew. Then each player will place a summoning portal on the corner closest to them on the board and the second one on the innermost corner closest to them on the board. Just like the B-roll does. Just look at that. Finally, draw 3 cards and randomly determine which mage goes first. Each player turn will be comprised of 4 phases. The first phase being your summoning phase. Being your summoning. Like beam your summons into existence. That's how we need to do this, y'all. To start the summoning phase, you may sacrifice any of your monsters not currently on your summoning portals. This will allow you to acquire the power you need to summon bigger monsters. Just discard the minion off your placard, take them off the board, and flip over an uncharged soulstone. Finally, it's time to summon some minions. Summon creatures by spending a number of soulstones and summoning power crystals equal to the level of the minion. Place the minion on one of the colored spots on your placard, put health tokens on the minion, and place the minion on one of your summoning portals. You can summon as many minions as you have power, and just keep in mind that level 0 minions, though free to summon, always are fatigued. Before ending the summoning phase, you can play spell cards. Heck, so long as you're following the rules of the spell card, you can just assume you can play it at any time during your phase. Just read carefully. After the summoning phase, you've got the movement phase. You'll roll 2 die and add a modifier number based upon the number of tiles making it the longest edge of the board. So in our board, we add 2 to our dice roll. This will be the total amount of movement you have for all of your minions. When moving your minions, you have a few things you should keep in mind. First, you can only move orthogonally. That means left, right, up, or down. Second, you can't move through any creatures on the board or through an opponent's summoning portal. Third, map tiles with lines running through them cost 2 to move into instead of 1. And finally, you can only occupy the space of another creature if you are looking to fight it, and only 2 monsters can be in a fight at a time. Once you've used all the movement points you wish to use, it's time to resolve combat. For each set of minions on the board, you will roll dice according to their level and their fatigue status. This little chart thing should help you determine how many die to roll. Each player will roll their minion's die and compare the highest die with the opponent's highest die. If there's a tie, you'll compare the second die rolled, and if all die are tied, you'll roll again. The difference between the winning and losing die will be the damage dealt to the loser. Remove the hit points from the losing minion's card and place a fatigued counter on the minion if the hit points left are equal to or less than the fatigue value. If ever the minion loses all their hit points, remove the mini from the board and hand the creature card over to the winning player. This will give victory points to the winner equal to the level of the minion they just destroyed. If only 1 point of damage was caused, the losing minion may choose to stay and fight. If 2 or more damage has been done, the losing minion will need to roll a die and move according to the retreat key. This may cause additional combat or an illegal move. If the minion cannot occupy the retreat space legally, they will have to stay and continue fighting the enemy minion. If the minion would run into another enemy in the new location, they will continue combat with that new enemy. Once all combat is resolved and all minions left on the board are occupying their own space, you can move to the wrap-up phase. During this phase, you will summon any additional creatures you wish to, recharge a single summoning stone, and draw 2 cards. If you have more than 4 cards, you'll need to discard from your hand until you are down to 4. Play will continue until the first mage earns 8 victory points. To become the next Archmage, you are going to need my top 3 tips. Number 1. If you have a creature low on health, it's often better to sacrifice the creature than let your enemy take it. This will allow you to charge a soul crystal, giving you greater summoning power later. Number 2. Don't be afraid to lean on the power of your level 0 monsters. They don't have a lot of health, but they can be used in many creative ways to control your opponent's movement, allowing you to trap and possibly finish off enemy minions. Number 3. Don't forget to use your spell cards. They are the most valuable thing in your deck and can turn the tide of battle quickly. So that's the game, Dawn of the Archmage. This is a fun, light combat game that I expect a lot of quality from when it comes to the final product. There's quite a bit of chaos in the game, but not so much that you can't play strategically. I think more than anything, I'm excited to finally see these minis in person. Here, let me show you what they look like. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Pretty. If you're interested in the game, don't forget to check out the Kickstarter. The link's down below. And as always, if you like what I'm doing here at the Weirdlings, like this video and leave me a comment to let me know. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the fun we have here on the Weirdlings. And until next time, goodbye.